What if an RV just abandoned the traditional dining arrangement? What if it just didn't have that normal dinette or like table? What kind of impression would that give you? Hello, everybody. Josh the RV Nerd here with the pretty weak puns, to be fair. Taking a look at a model. It's not exactly brand new, but I've never had a chance to put it on camera before, so why not expand our coverage? Let's just get this out of the way. This is not the biggest, flashiest, fanciest, over-the-topiest kind of fifth wheel. For someone who's looking for, maybe you still punch a clock for a living, maybe, you don't own the company, but you want that separation of kitchen and living room that you don't get in that traditional triple slide rear living fifth wheel, That's where this one comes into play right here. There's a lot of people who constantly leave me notes like they need to get rid of that dinette. Dinettes are dead. Dinettes don't make sense. And for some people, you absolutely need a dinette. But for some people, they don't provide a lot of benefit. So this one robs Peter to pay Paul. Instead of dedicating a lot of space to a dining arrangement, which is really tricky in a front living room, unless you bury a slide with the dinette under the awning on the campsite of your RV. This is, what if we didn't do that? So that we have that opposing slide front living. We have the power televator with the front windshield. It gives that nice big open feel. The enclosed underbelly, the tank heaters, the dual air capacity, washer dryer capable. What if we did all those things, but we didn't ruin our patio awning space? And what if we kept this into a little more of a Larry Lunch Bucket and Jane Six-Pack working man and woman's budget range? That's the question they asked. And I'm going to ask you, how did they do? I want you to jump in the comment section, leave them a little bit of a report card. Good, bad, ugly, in between. I'm going to try to cover those things for you because it does have good points and it has some black eyes, both. And if you like that candid approach, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. And we're going to come back here in just a minute. This is your very traditional front living fifth wheel layout. A lot of different manufacturers have their own take, their own spin on this. There's nothing necessarily earth-shatteringly new there. What I'm curious about is how you feel about this kitchen and dining arrangement. And I've sort of seen this done before. The Hemisphere Heritage Glen, the Hemisphere Heritage Glen front living fifth wheel is similar in the kitchen and living room. And they said, what if we just don't have the traditional dining arrangement? And basically they just kind of lean on the kitchen bar a little bit. So this is not the kind of rig designed like, well, what if I'm going to have friends over? Where are we all going to sit down and eat? That's at the picnic table. I don't know. That's not what this one is. This is where it's like just the two of you. And, you're not here to entertain friends and family any more than you necessarily have to. Now, the irony is, with the front living room, you have dual opposing hide-to-bed sleeper sofas that are excellent for sleeping friends and family. But if you're doing that, hopefully you're a family who just eats off the dinner plate watching TV, which is frankly what I do. Like, when, my wife and I, when we had our kid, I had this bug in my butt. I'm like, I want that old-timey kind of family thing where we sit around the dining table and we tell stories about our day and blah, blah, blah. And I tried to force that on my family for like a week, and everybody was miserable, including me. And I realized, you know what? That's not how I was raised. That's just not how a lot of people do things now. It's not a Norman Rockwell painting. And you know what? That's okay. I will say, the window coverage with a front living room like this is excellent, and they did a good job making all the windows open. In a more budget-sensitive front living fifth wheel like this, that is kind of a thing that sometimes some manufacturers sort of drop the ball on, for lack of a better way to say it. And as you have probably surmised by this point, we've got a front power televator. I tell you what, though. Why tell you? We're on a video. I can show you. Let me get my stupid butt up here. She deep. That thing is deep. And apparently comes with 2 dead houseflies at no additional charge. So there's something. But my point is, that right there, that's a little kitty cat heaven. Man, I could imagine seeing a little cat sunbedding itself up there. I like the, pardon me. household and USB outlets on both sides too. Now this is a little more of a budget focused fifth wheel. It's not intended to, to be the most expensive front living. So things that just cover like your upper deck structure beams, they just use a very traditional, low budget, but you know what, effective carpet covering. Not everybody loves it, but that's how impression do, for lack of a better way of saying it. Now you saw the air conditioner earlier. They only use 15,000 BTU airs on these, which is pretty cool. Anyway, hide a bed. You've got dual opposing hide-a-bed sleepers with a little bit of a walkway in between, and obviously another look at that power televator action going on right over there. What is kind of nice on this one, you've got a big, wide, open upper deck space. They Impression also is pretty good about not doing floor ducted heating. They don't actually necessarily cold test their stuff, but they do a lot of the same things that say Reflection or Cougar does, like tank heaters, radiant barrier belly, heated belly, stuff like that. Cougar and Reflection have tested 0 to 100 degree capable. Cougar actually tested up to 110 successfully. Impression just hasn't actually done the testing. So are they capable for those weathers? I don't know. I can't promise because they haven't either. I do like the blackout roller shades that they're including here, though, too. That is a nice little thing. And that is definitely a nice little cuddle-compliant love seat. You can be right on top of your partner right there. Or, if that's not exactly your thing, one of you can just throw like a pillow up against that window wall in the slide right there and just kind of make that like a little bit of a stretch-out lounge. I can see that working. Now, somebody might say, man, I wish I could replace one of these with like a desk. I think that would be cool myself, but the slide doesn't actually go down to the floor because we're actually standing between the chassis beams right now in the upper deck. So there's nowhere for your feet if you tried to make that a desk. It would be cool, but it's just not logistically going to be the smartest idea. Oh, hello. These outlets, I love that they're there. I'm curious as to why they are so freaking high up. Doesn't it feel like they would be better served down here instead of literally 1.5 foot up your backside over there and around the corner? Sorry if my phone's chiming. I'm kind of waiting on a message from my wife on something. What's funny is that's actually my Impression fifth wheel rep who just texted me. That's serendipitous. I'm actually a little concerned as he's talking to me here. I like looking for little details like this. This is something I look for on my little personal shopping list. If there's a cut edge, did they do something to finish it or leave it just in raw exposed wood? Here they actually color matched it. I can give them credit for that. They did a thing. They didn't just leave it. I think that's nice. Now again, one of the things that they did here by not going with traditional dining is this doesn't have a slide out, which means you're getting more of your awning space to function. It also means we have a nice campsite window overlooking our couples dining, overlooking the dishes over here. Like, I'm okay with it. I kind of like that. I would like a window in the entry door, but that's just me. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know. Leave me a note. Let me know. In the meantime here, let's crack this open, start peeling through all the kitchen storage. I do like where they put the power outlet under that cabinet next to the countertop. That's a really smart location. Actually, the kitchen outlets overall on this are in really good, smart locations. Where you would put a wastebasket is a little bit of a question mark to me on this one. I think maybe one of the places that you might do that is actually over there in the pantry, in the kitchen slide beside the stove. Those are adjustable, removable shelves. So if you wanted to open that door and have a big wastebasket there, it'd be out of sight, out of mind, and still readily accessible. So that would kind of make sense to me, but I don't know. If something makes sense to me, that sometimes is kind of a reason for concern, Oh, whatever. We're going to back up here ever so slowly and work our way into the bathroom. Now, the bathroom has some excellent qualities. We have excellent space around our porcelain foot flush toilet. That is absolutely very fluffy friendly. And if you are tall like me, I could touch the ceiling when I reached up, but there's a good, 1.5 feet, 2 feet above my balding hairline in there. The one thing I'm going to knock this bathroom for, I'm okay that it's a little basic. It has essentially no linen storage. So you're going to have to keep towels in your bedroom that you bring in here with you. It's not the end of the world. It's just, I don't know. It's not my favorite thing. Something totally surprised me on this one, though. The bedroom It's a north-south queen bed, and it really kind of reminds me of the front living room concept that Cougar came out with a few years ago, where they did something similar. They did not give it a bedroom east-west bed slide, and that helps keep the weight down. It helps keep some cost vectors down, and it means that the bed will be travel functional because we do still have a closet storage slide over here. So it's not like we have no slide, but it's not like a space gaining slide. I like those wicker baskets. Those things are cool. I want to name one of them John Wicker. It's so stupid. I'm very tired. I'm very tired right now. I am out of shape, and this is like my 8th RV video today. I'm cooked. You don't care. Anyway, TV hookups across from the bed. And then this door around the corner over here, it almost looks like a back door into the bathroom or something, but if you crack that open, that's either an extra big closet or combo or stackable washer dryer prep. And I found basically a whole roll of bubble wrap in there that I am stuffing in the back of my truck, and I'm going to I'm going to sit in my hotel room tonight because I'm recording out of town. I'm just going to be popping bubble wrap all night until the neighbors call the office on me. That's my plans. And I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just saying that's what I'm going to do, guys. You may have noticed, by the way, on the hanging wardrobe towers on either side of this true queen bed, there's one of those removable, like, hanging wardrobe like organizers, like shelf. Hold on, I'm not explaining this well. I'm using the same words too often. These things, you've got those things on both sides. I like the outlets on both sides of the bed. If those were drawers instead of just pockets, I think I would probably like those a little bit better. And I think we're pretty much there, but I always like to showcase things in road mode. I think that you can tell because the bedroom is right over here on the hallway side with the door. Accessing that is not going to be a problem. But as you're going to see, the upper deck, well, basically, she gone. However, I don't know that I care. Now, obviously, I didn't close the upper deck slides. I don't think it matters. You're not going to get there. But if you think about it, we have dining downstairs, although these chairs are actually designed to go under the bed and strap down for transit. Don't leave them here to jiggle bang all over the place while you're roller quaking down the highway. But the refrigerator's location is easily accessible in transit. The bathroom's location is easily accessible in transit. The bedroom is functional in transit. This, shockingly, for a front living room that is not normally the kind of RV that has good travel function, actually checks the golden 3 boxes. So a lot of times when I'm making my videos, I don't have the hitch weight specs directly in front of me. I have a lot of the other specs, but not that one. So I'm estimating here, and I'm going to estimate that there are some heavy-duty 3/4 tons that would probably make a decent fit for this. But if you're asking me for just a generalized blanket recommendation, single rear wheel, like Gasser 1-ton would probably be a very solid fit. My friends Jason and Abby with RV Miles, that's actually what they have, a Sabre front living, similar size, similar weight, and they pull it with a Gasser single rear wheel 1-ton, and they do just fine. Ironically, they have more payload available to them as compared to a lot of people with the diesels. And I don't mean towing, I mean payload. And if you don't know the difference, I've got videos on that. Now, one thing that is nice about the stable steps, since these things were created, they allow the RV engineers to better balance the RV the way that you want to, because the old traditional fold-out steps, they would conflict with these Goodyear Endurance radials. It just would not work, and you don't quite have that issue here. Now, there's no special suspension enhancement or upgrade or anything like that on here. So I do, again, I'm not trying to oversell anything. I'm just trying to share what's good about it, maybe what's not. Like, the awning space feels like it could have maybe been a little bit bigger, but the taper of the roofline really cuts back toward that bedroom and maybe kind of cut into it. Tankless on-demand water heater right here, keeping you warm in the shower so nobody's got to do the chilly willy dance. And, a non-drop frame, lighter weight fifth wheel like this, especially with the front living room that has a smaller upper deck, means a smaller basement there. Although, I'm looking at this, and it doesn't look like they prep for it or anything, because there's not perforated punch outs. But this front storage cavity, your battery cavity, spare tire holder, it is large, and I think you might actually be able to have a generator installed in there aftermarket. They don't offer it from the factory, but like, I'm at our Anderson, Indiana store. We are not far physically from like the Awning factory. It's not to say it's impossible for us to actually get this hauled over to Awning and have basically a factory generator install done right there. They also don't do any sort of enhanced pin box, but be really, really careful when changing the pin box on your RV. Something that is not talked about enough in this industry, and I guess I need to start doing a better job of it myself. There are pin boxes that will overstress the front end of this chassis where that hitch box marries up, and you could cause yourself some problems. And, you know, the more awareness we bring to that, the fewer issues you're going to have. Now, I don't see where it's specifically slide awning prepped, but I am pretty sure everything is capable of accepting a slide awning, and that was perfect. So there's a bit of a tale of two cities here. I respectfully, personally don't like this, but the other side of the front pass-through, it has a magnet holdback and it has a slam latch. This has neither. And I'd like to thank our special guest today, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Also, speaking of ghosts, the ghost train came through earlier. Something that you folks watching this video have no awareness of is where I am physically standing is literally less than a stone's throw, even with my weak, nerdy arms, away from where a major train line rolls through. And they blast that horn because we're right next to a highway that they go across. And I'm standing right here, and they blasted that horn, and I nearly soiled my pants. It was a battle that I won, but it was close. Closer than I liked. With our kitchen in the middle here and our bathroom behind it and the wheels in between, one thing I noticed is that you do have a, sorry, I walked right past it as I'm talking about it. You do have a sewer hookup over here under the slide. Now, it is a gray water only, and if you notice, they put the pull valve where you can get it, so you're going to want to have that hooked up before you open the slide, so kind of keep that in mind. Now, the underbelly is enclosed, forced air heated, radiant barrier layered, actually accessibelly, sectionalized paneled accessibelly type stuff, which you might, it sounds kind of wildwoody. This is actually a cousin to the wildwood family, not a direct descendant, but they share some DNA. And if you notice, there's that big, ugly, looks like wasp nest of spray foam right there. It looks like, why did they overspray? Why did they use so much? Well, I would absolutely rather a manufacturer overspray and overuse that stuff instead of underuse it and make it an easy access mouse house. So I'll take overspray over underspray any day. I could always take a shop razor and cut that down. But we have kitchen gray here. You have bathroom black and gray back here behind your rear 4-point electric auto leveling jack. So kind of keep that in mind, Jack. 250-pound rated ladder to get us up to that fully walkable roof. And one thing that you're not seeing is that you do have a 100-watt solar panel up there, which isn't, like, amazing, but it's a battery tender. And you know what? It tended the battery that we're using today. It did the job. It's been running the slides, the awnings, all that stuff. We also have a 300-pound rated accessory hitch on the back. It's funny. They call it towing hitch, but here's the rub. They missed something. This doesn't have safety chain hooks, nor does it have a 4-way wiring harness. So something's not lining up there. And I'm not, like, I know this brand fairly well, but not like, ooh, we know each other on a biblical level. And so I don't know what's not jiving there, but maybe most of the impressions have a rear towing hitch, and because of the length of this one, it doesn't. I don't know. I just know it doesn't. So again, what'd you think, everybody? What do you think of their front living versus something else? Now, something that might be more comparable, because if you start comparing that to like a North Point, a Solitude, a Paradigm, it's your apples and oranges. Vastly vast, tens of thousands different budget range there. But compare it to like a Sabre, an Arctic Wolf, then it starts to be a little more of a interesting comparison. I'll leave you some links in the video description to check pricing and availability. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.